but I've got a couple of instruments that are tuned to centaur at the moment. I have a kalimba that's tuned to a subset of centaur, so it's kind of like a C minor with a slightly different flavor. And I have a melodica as well, which has the entire tuning on it.
Okay, where do you get this melodica, or do you custom? How?
Oh, I don't know if you. I've got it here. I don't know if you recognise these. You could buy these very easily. I think this one just cost me £30 a few years ago. But if you take the case off of the melodica, underneath you will find the reeds. The reeds are like a long, thin sheet of metal, like a long, flat finger of metal. And what I did was I used an engraving tool. Again, very cheap to get hold of. I used an electric engraver tool to file away at the reeds. And if you file at one side of the reed, the pitch goes up. And if you file at the other side, the pitch goes down. So I spent the time and I got the tuning in terms of hertz. So I understood what frequency each pitch should be. And I had a little app on my phone that tells you how many hertz you're at. And I would blow on the reed and listen to it and then be, okay, it's a bit sharp. I need to flatten that one. And then I did that for all of them. And then within a day, I had an instrument that was tuned. I've bought a second melodica because I want to do this again. They're quite cheap, these melodicas. So lots of fun to be had there.
So you're customizing your melodicas to fit within these microtonal universes. It's fascinating.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, you mentioned the marimba that you are adjusting the tuning of to create a subset or a subtuning.
It's a kalimba.
Kalimba, excuse me.
This one.
Yeah, there we go. Now,
yeah, that's right.
You mentioned to me when we were speaking before this podcast, you were actually able to adjust the tuning using magnets. Can you describe that process?
That is correct. For those viewers on YouTube will see on the video there's a magnet just there. For anyone who's not watching it, I have very tiny a stack of very tiny neodymium magnets on one of my kalimba tines. So putting aside the magnets for a moment, the standard way of tuning a kalimba is an instrument with these long kind of pieces of metal. And if I get a pair of pliers, I can push that up or down. This is quite difficult to do, but you can tune the instrument that way because it's held very tightly from the top. It will hold its tuning for quite a long time. So that would be the standard way of tuning a kalimba. However, in addition to that, you can also use magnets. Now, if you, because it's metal, it will track a magnet, magnetism and all that stuff. That makes the mass of the tine increase. And something with more mass will vibrate more slowly. So the more magnets I put on here, the lower the pitch becomes. And it's not just the additional mass, but also the position of the magnets affects the pitch. If I have it closer to the top, the effect on the pitch will be less. And if I have it closer to the bottom, then the effect will be more. So I can use that to very quickly get a different, to lower the pitch on any of these tines. And the reason I'm doing that is because as I said, my kalimba is in a kind of C minor. You can think of it as a kind of C minor with a slightly different flavor to it. And this low note here would be a B flat. But if I put these magnets on it, I can get it down to a G. And G is a more important note in C minor, as far as I'm concerned. And I quite like the sound of that. And that's how I tune my kalimba now.
That is super fascinating. And I think I actually have the same kalimba as you because mine came from the UK. Fascinating.
Oh, cool.